Hey y'all, I am back. I just got a new microphone. Well, not even new, it's a microphone for the first time. So just testing this thing out and hopefully the sound is good. So just bear with me. Anyways, um, yeah, y'all see the name of the video. Um, you know, people gotta stop telling black women to choose better when there's nothing to choose better from, or when there's very little to choose better from. So, how are we supposed to choose better when the men aren't choosing to do better for themselves? When the men don't want to go to therapy, they don't want to work on their trauma. Like, what are we supposed to choose better from? Make it make sense because the math just isn't mathing. Um, and also, like, you all know, like I've been dating for the past several years, and it's been very very depressing, extremely depressing. And recently, I was on a dating app. Yeah, I think it was Match, and I got matched with this older gentleman. He was about 30 years older than me. He was like 68, 69. And come to find out, y'all know he got a lot of kids. Like he has 5 kids. I think I don't even know how many grandkids, and then like 2 great grandkids. So we went on a date and everything, but it was just wasn't really a lot of chemistry. And then we talked for a few days after the date, and then he went ghost. So it's just God. I don't even know why I do this to myself. It's like, why do I go on these dating apps when like I know I don't even really want to be on there? But I don't know. It's like I do it just for shits and giggles at this point. So uh yeah. And it's like I don't know. I think a lot of these men are on dating apps just for like an ego boost, because it's like it doesn't really lead to anything most of the time. Like I've been on dating apps since 2017, and I think I've met up with a few. Let me say, maybe about I can count on one hand how many men I've met up with, because it's just like that many bullshitters on there, and then also like I'm not really on these dating apps 24/7. Like I pop in and out, and then for like a couple years I didn't even care to date. So, but like when I do go on there, it's just a bunch of bullshitters, and it's just like this is why so many women are choosing to be single, because a lot of these men don't even know how to date. You don't know how to date. You don't know how to plan anything. You're not consistent. So what are we doing? And then these are the same men that will go around and shame women for being single, but then you don't know how to date a woman. It's like, why are you trying to get me into a relationship so bad just for you to not even know how to be in a relationship? Which goes back to that one of my favorite teen movies, 10 Things I Hate About You. Like, go back and watch that movie. Like, it's amazing like what you watch like as a child or teenager. Because like when I was a teenager, I thought that movie was so good. I'm like, oh, like it's such a cute love story. And then you fast forward like 15, 20 years and you're like, this movie was trash. Because after you done lived some life, and especially after you've been out here dating, it's like that movie was about coercion. Like she was just the main character, Julia Stiles, her character. She was just minding her business, like wasn't bothering anybody. She was a little feminist, just trying to get into college, just doing her own thing. And then here come these two dudes trying to convince her that she needs to date so she can go to the prom and da 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 da. And then in the end, like they made her life worse. Like they completely embarrassed and ridiculed her. Like she was fine by herself. Like she was absolutely fine, like just doing her own thing. And that's a really good example for like women in society. Like women are fine on we're fine by ourselves. But once men come into the picture, it's just like shit just starts to go left. It's like when a man comes into your life, very rarely do you hear women talk about how they benefited from a man being in their life. Like very rarely will you hear it. It's usually like it's usually hear how the man destroyed her life in some kind of way. It's like it's always something like disastrous because before that she was fine by herself. Like absolutely fine. Like ever since I've been single, my life has been great. Absolutely great. Like just no stress, no worries, none of that. But when I was with my ex, oh my God. Like I was like I looked a fucking mess. Like I was overweight. I was tired all the time. I was depressed. I was stressed out. Like it was just a fucking mess. But as soon as I got away from him, when I say as soon as I got away from him, my life started to just get better and better and better and better and better. So I'm trying to tell you, like, women are fine. We are absolutely fine by ourselves. Because 9 times out of 10, these men want to shame you into a relationship that they really don't even want to be in or don't even know how to be in. Because again, they refuse to work on themselves, they refuse to do the inner work. So just leave us the fuck alone. Like we're women are going to therapy, we're working on our own trauma, we're going on girls trips. We're not worried about y'all. Y'all are worried about us. And then you tell us, oh, you gonna die alone, when statistically we know it's y'all are the ones that die alone. Y'all are the ones that die first because you don't live as long. So you're projecting your anxiety and fears onto women and trying to shame them into being with you when you're not really going to do anything to improve her life overall. You're just not. You're going to subtract. Like I said, I rarely hear women talk about how a man added to her life, how she benefited from a man being in her life. Is usually the complete opposite. Usually her life is fucked up once a man has entered her life. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. So I chose to break um the cycle in my own family because the women in my family, horrible, horrible taste in men. Horrible taste in men. They all got shitty men. They all, please don't even get me started. They all chose men that are dependent on women. And I went down that road, but luckily I got out of that because I'm not taking care of no grown ass fucking man that's not ambitious, that doesn't know how to lead, and is completely fucking dependent on me like a child. I'm not going to be your mother. I want to be your woman. Okay? So I'm not helping you pay half the bills. I'm not here to unpack all your childhood trauma, your life trauma. That is for you and your therapist to figure out. Okay? Just like I got to unpack my own trauma that had nothing to do with you from my childhood, you got to do the same fucking thing. So that's that on that. Yeah. Uh, anyway, that's my spiel. Wanted to keep this short and cute, short and sweet. So until next time, talk amongst yourselves, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.